What is happening, wrestling fans? It is your boy, D-WIZZLE. Thank you as always for tuning back into the channel. And today I want to give you guys my thoughts on All Elite Wrestling. Apparently this is a new wrestling promotion coming really soon that's possibly trying to compete with the WWE. So I know I'm really late on this. I wanted to give my thoughts a long time ago, but honestly I just wanted to wait until I got enough information to talk about All Elite Wrestling, because we were just given bits and pieces here and there, but I wanted to wait till the rally happened, and then the Khans started giving more information, and Cody and the Young Bucks started giving more information. I actually just wanted to wait till they made this official, because it was just like a rumor going around. But now that we have concrete stuff about this, how do I feel about All Elite Wrestling? Honestly, I'm really excited for this. I'm really looking forward to what this wrestling promotion does, actually. So this all started officially New Year's, where Cody and the Young Bucks did a video on their YouTube channel, being the Elite, and them officially announcing that All Elite Wrestling is a thing, and also talking about their whether their wrestling events, Double or Nothing. And then later on in the month, we got a rally at the Jacksonville, which is kind of coincidence because SmackDown was having their show the same day and in the same area in Jacksonville, and that promotion was pretty much there to announce who is actually going to be on the brand, give a little bit of light to the contracts and how stuff was going to be structured, and overall it looks like All Elite Wrestling has a lot of stuff going for it, really. So pretty much All Elite Wrestling is started by the Khans, Saeed and Tony Khan, and they actually own the Jacksonville Jaguars football team in Jacksonville. And apparently they're huge billionaires. I think they have more money than Vince McMahon. So of course that the funding for this, they have quite a bit of resources to start this wrestling promotion. Not only that, Tony is actually a huge wrestling fan, so he knows quite a bit about the wrestling business and the industry. And of course it also helps that Cody and the Young Bucks also are producing this as well. So of course they have all the resources in the world to make this a great wrestling show. And then you have Brandy Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' wife, being chief brand officer, and also you have the Young Bucks family, some of their family members producing this also. And then you even have Billy Gunn also doing backstage stuff, making sure that the shows are produced well. So they definitely have a lot of stuff backing their promotion. They definitely put a lot of eyes on their promotion, and I'm just really excited. But of course you guys want me to talk about what wrestlers are actually going to be in All Elite Wrestling. Some of these guys I didn't think were actually going to be on here yet. I thought there were going to be some wrestlers that were just going to wait it out and see, how stuff goes with All Elite Wrestling. But no, there's a couple of names on here that actually shocked me. Of course, you have the no-brainers. You have Cody, you have the Young Bucks, you have Hangman Page. So some of the people from the Elite, of course, is already going to be there. Also, but some of the big names that were a surprise to me was Pac, aka Neville from the WWE. He's doing stuff with Dragon Gate. He's actually a champion right now, but apparently he's signed to All Elite Wrestling, and that really shocked me. I was really excited for that. And then of course the biggest name on here is Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is with All Elite Wrestling, and I honestly didn't think he was going to do it, because I felt he was so, he had such an allegiance with WWE, and he has a good relationship with Vince McMahon. So it's I didn't think he would be immediately going to it, but that apparently he is, and I'm really excited about that. And then you have Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Lindemann, Joey Janela, Scorpio Sky, and apparently they got some connections from this other wrestling promotion called OWE, Oriental Wrestling Entertainment. I think this is a wrestling promotion in China or something like that. And apparently they got some wrestlers over there that I heard was really good. So I think I'm going to look up the stuff from OWE. But I'm actually excited to see what they do in AEW. And then, of course, you have the first female women's signee. And not only the first female women's signee, she was the first person to be signed with All Elite Wrestling. You have Britt Baker, who is actually the girlfriend of Adam Cole, who's in NXT right now. So I was really excited about that. And of course, there's not a lot of female wrestlers right now. There's Penelope Ford and Brandy Rhodes there. Obviously, they need to develop their women's roster a little bit more. But apparently it is confirming that that there is going to be a female roster. So I'm very excited about that. Obviously, we're not going to worry about tag teams right now because we don't have enough people on the roster at the moment. I guess we're just going to develop the male wrestlers and the female wrestlers as singles competitors at first. But overall, this is looking pretty good. It's stacking up to be a really nice roster. So as far as television stuff, that's still like up in the air. Though apparently there's a lot of rumors that it could end up on TBS or TNT, and I honestly hope that they do get a spot there because how poetic that would be. Because WCW was on TNT, and everyone remembers the Monday Night Wars with Raw. So how poetic would that be if they got the same spot? Honestly, if they do get TNT, they definitely got a bunch of people paying attention to their product at that point. And then as far as their just their other event, Double or Nothing, that's going to be in May, Memorial Day weekend, I believe, and it's going to be in Las Vegas. So I definitely want to try and watch that and give you guys my thoughts on Double or Nothing. But yeah, so I still need to work on a television deal, but I'm sure they're going to have that in the bag really soon. And as I said, like the cons are, have a lot of money, more than Vince McMahon. So as far as like contracts and making sure people are paid and making sure that marketing and distribution, I think all that's going to be good. And apparently, as far as the contracts, they said that all the men and women are going to be paid equally. And I'm like, that's great. That's amazing. I don't think any wrestler should be paid less than another wrestler. Unless you're like the champions, I guess you could be getting a little bit more pay. But I'm glad to see that men and women are getting equal treatment when it comes to their contracts. Even Jericho said in an interview, I watched one of his interviews, and he said that the contract that he was offered for AEW was one of the best contracts that he's had. And that's saying something from Jericho, because he's been in the wrestling industry for I don't know how long, and for him to say that about AEW's contract, that's saying a lot. So definitely they mean business. They want to be an alternative to WWE. Since WWE is becoming such a monopoly nowadays, it's just great to see that there's somebody that's actually trying to stand up to it. Even though WWE, I'm not saying all the stuff that they do is bad, because of course they have NXT and stuff like that, which is great. But I just feel like WWE, their quality has dipped a lot in the past few years. So I'm glad to see that there's an alternative that will possibly come out. Now there is the big question: is AEW actually going to be able to compete with the WWE? Well, at first, probably not, because as everything that you start with, you have to establish, the company and develop that quality before you even think about competing with a monopoly like WWE. So at first they are going to struggle. There's always a struggle at first, because they're just starting and not a lot of people know about them. But I feel like if they just worry about how they how they are as a company. You know, don't worry about what the WWE is doing at the moment, because you can't compete with WWE out the gate. You know, because of all the resources, and then a bunch of people know WWE. That's the main thing they think. That the main thing that comes to their head when it comes to wrestling is WWE. So, of course, AEW is not going to beat WWE off the gate. But I feel eventually, if they work on the quality and the writing and the wrestling, you know, just the way they produce stuff, I think eventually they will get there. But like I said, it's going to take time. So I think it's ridiculous that people are saying that, you know, AEW is going to fail because it's not going to be as big as WWE off the gate. Of course it's not. That's impossible. Like, seriously, even New Japan Pro Wrestling, like, as long as they've been here, they don't compete with WWE on a mainstream platform, you know. But they're just focusing on how they are as a company by themselves, and it's like, I think they've developed themselves really well. So I think AEW has to have the same mindset. Though of course we know AEW is trying to be an alternative to WWE. They know about all the bullcrap that happens with WWE and how certain wrestlers and producers and writers aren't happy with their position there. So of course they want to show that AEW is more fair and more open to stuff, and it's not controlled by a cynical old man that's lost his touch with the fan base. Like, they actually want to evolve as wrestlers. You know, their tagline is change the world, and I feel like they can do that because Cody and the Young Bucks want to evolve wrestling. They want to be more with the times. They want to be for the fans, and I believe Chris Jericho, and other people on the roster, I think they want to change wrestling. And honestly, if I feel like even like big names like Chris Jericho, they wouldn't sign with this promotion. I don't think he would sign with AEW if he didn't think that they could do something different and change the landscape of wrestling itself. Now, another thing people are wondering about is other big names coming to AEW eventually. Like certain people from WWE leaving ship and going to AEW. Like certain wrestlers that aren't happy with their positions. Like The Revival, or Zack Ryder, or Bobby Roode, or Sasha Banks, stuff like that. I don't know. Time will tell. Like, I know The Revival definitely, I feel like they want to leave because, you know, they're not being pushed very well. They're always getting buried by the Lucha House Party, and they're not getting tag team championship opportunities. So I feel like eventually they for sure will go to AEW, especially because the Young Bucks teased that on social media, and then people that you don't even see on a week-to-week basis on Raw or SmackDown, like freaking Zack Ryder. Where's Zack Ryder? I mean, I like Zack Ryder. He's not my favorite wrestler, but you know, he's entertaining to watch. Like, people like that. Like, where's Zack Ryder? You know, they could go to they could freaking go to AEW. Even, like, people like Dolph Ziggler, I know he's not getting pushed very well. So I know eventually, maybe when his contract goes up, he'll probably consider that. But, you know, time will tell. I don't think big names like Finn Balor or AJ Styles, I don't think they're going to go to All Elite Wrestling. Even like Sasha Banks or other female wrestlers that aren't getting as much attention, I don't know about them yet. I think they're pretty okay with their position. I think that, you know, they're getting paid really well, and their push may not be great, but they're, you know, it's not awful to the point where, you know, they feel like they want to quit. So we'll just have to see about that. But obviously the two biggest names that people are hoping will go to All Elite Wrestling is Kenny Omega and CM Punk. Let me talk about Kenny Omega first. So, as we know, his contract is not up until February 1st, so he can't even speak on AEW at the moment. But apparently WWE offered him a huge contract for him to come to WWE. And if you want my honest opinion, I think Kenny Omega will go to All Elite Wrestling, because I know money has never been a thing with Kenny. It was never about the money. It's like, I feel like he has the same mindset as Cody and the Young Bucks, that he wants to evolve professional wrestling. And for him to go to WWE, where we know he's going to be shackled to a certain degree, it goes against, you know, what he believes, and, you know, how he feels about the wrestling industry if he goes to WWE. You know, so I don't think he's going to go, but who knows? We'll have to see. You know, in the given couple weeks, a couple months, we'll see how it goes down. But I think he's going to go to All Elite Wrestling, just because of his mindset about wrestling, that, you know, he wants to be different, and you know, he has a relationship with Cody and the Young Bucks, you know, Bullet Club and Elite. So it'll be very strange if he does go to WWE. But we just have to wait till his contract with New Japan is up. And then CM Punk, if they get CM Punk in All Elite Wrestling, oh my god, WWE will be shook. And the entire landscape of the wrestling industry will change if CM Punk goes to All Elite Wrestling. But I don't think he's gonna go. Or if he does, it won't be for a while. Because, like, he's being very wishy-washy about coming back to wrestling. I don't know what his status is in UFC right now. And plus, like, he has to train, you know, because he hasn't wrestled in years. And, like, he's getting up there in age. Like, he's in his 40s. Though I know age is a number at this point, because Jericho's 48 and he's still doing great wrestling matches. But I just feel like he's getting up there in age, and, you know, he doesn't have a lot of time. Though I did hear CM Punk was open to listening to what the contract stuff, you know, with AEW is. Like, I think for the right price, he might come to All Elite Wrestling. And also if he's actually going to be given the push that WWE didn't give him. Because that was his main thing. He feels like he was held back in WWE and wasn't being treated fairly. So it's like, if All Elite Wrestling is able to do all that for him, then maybe he will. But, you know, given what CM Punk's demands might be, I don't know how much AEW is going to bend over backwards for him, you know. Because honestly, I feel like the company will be just fine without CM Punk. It will definitely help them if they get CM Punk. I'm not saying he shouldn't go. I think he should. Actually. I think that would be a big middle finger to WWE, being like, this is what happens when you don't utilize your talents the way they should. You know? I think that would be a huge statement for WWE if he comes to All Elite Wrestling. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Not for a few years, you know? But, you know, I hope he does. Well, we'll see. But overall, I do want this company to succeed. I think it is on the really good footing. I hope it swings for the fences right off the gate, you know, because it needs to. You know, with how big WWE is, you got to make a statement, and I hope it does. I do want this company to succeed. For people that say they don't want this company to succeed, I don't understand it, because if AEW succeeds, that means that WWE will have competition, which means that WWE will have to change how they do things on a regular basis. They can't be on autopilot every week. They can't just write the same stuff. They can't use the same silly stuff. They have to try something different to compete with the other company. So competition is the best thing for pro wrestling at this moment. And I think we do need another, you know, type of, you know, Monday Night Wars, even though, you know, they're not going to be on the same day. But I feel like we do need that level of competition to get the best out of WWE. It'll only be good. It'll only be great for everyone, you know. But yeah, I just hope they do succeed, you know. So if they do end up getting the television deal with TBS or TNT or wherever they go, apparently they want the Tuesday night spot, and as we know, SmackDown is on Tuesday night, and so they probably won't be able to get that slot until SmackDown moves to Fox on Fridays, and that's not going to happen till later in the year, like in October or something like that. So we probably won't see a weekly show until the end of the year. So it's a bummer we have to wait that long still, but it's good to know that AEW is actually a thing. So I think this company just needs to take a sweet time to make sure everything that they're planning, everything's in order, everything is good to go. So I'm okay with waiting a little bit more. But I'm glad that they're still doing events like Double or Nothing, so we won't be left with like zero information or zero entertainment from them. because they need to show like something, a sample, and I think this will go really well. But that's my overall thoughts on All Elite Wrestling. What do you guys think about it? Are you guys excited about it, or do you guys think it's going to fail from the get-go? Do you want this to compete with WWE? Do you think it's going to compete with WWE? Comment your thoughts down below and let me know. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll update you guys on more All Elite Wrestling stuff as it comes out. But see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.